We are back, season 6 of HowDidiDo Academy. My name is Sophie Walker and let's go. Hitting driver can be quite intimidating, it can be difficult to get off the tee and that can ruin your round of golf. So here is 5 things to consider when hitting driver. The first thing to consider is tee height. Now many of you might use castle tees. I think that's a good idea because you have that stable, steady, same marking. Us tour players, we use tees, but hey, we've teed up the golf ball a million times so we've got used to it. But why do we need a consistent tee height and what is the difference with tee heights? Watching Rory McIlroy quite recently, he's hitting it with a lower tee. So he's teeing the ball down. What that means is it encourages him to hit more down on the ball and it comes out from left to right. Now with many people that I teach, amateurs, we're always taught to hit up on it, aren't we? So why is Rory hitting down on it? Well, he's unusual, he's the unicorn. He hits too up on it and too much from the inside. If you want to be more like Rory, you better get that tee height higher. So I'd encourage you to use the pink castle tee or even the orange one. Number 2 builds on number 1. So we've got a higher tee height to make you hit up on it. Then we're going to adjust our setup in order to create that upward launch angle through the golf ball. So you want the ball inside the left heel or your front heel. Many people think it's the club. So I see lots of people doing this. Or actually that's the club inside your heel. We want the ball inside your heel. That encourages you to hit up on it, to hit on the upwards part of your swing arc. Then in relation to that, we sit the back shoulder lower, creating a diagonal moving up. See how the launch is up? And we can even have that feeling through the swing, how as you come down to the ball, the back knee is lower than the front knee. Here. So your whole body is going to do this. So you start in setup with that launch characteristic of the ball inside the front heel, the back shoulder down, to create this angle, but when you start swinging, especially in the downswing, you need to recreate that. Don't go back to square. The third thing to consider is your shot shape. What is your natural shot shape, or what shot have you got in the bag for that particular day? Yes, I know everybody wants to hit a high draw, but if you're hitting a ball that falls to the right hand side, and we're on the 14th hole right now, so I've already played 10 drivers, and if I'm hitting it falling to the right hand side, you have to play with what you've got. So on this tee shot, for instance, with it being a left to right dogleg, I'm going to move to the right hand side of the tee box. I'm going to aim away from the bunker on the right hand side in the distance. I'm going to aim down the left hand side. I'm going to aim most of my shots down the left edge of the fairway, because if I'm hitting it from left to right, that will encourage me to have the whole fairway for the ball to finish at. If I start the ball in the middle of the fairway, I've only got the right half of the fairway to hit. So the feeling is start it left and have 100% of the fairway, rather than start it in the middle and only have 50% of the fairway on the right hand side. Don't try and hit shots that you haven't got in the bag at that particular moment. Play with what you've got and you will hit more fairways. My next swing thought is useful especially at point of contact. Do not let the head touch the ground. If it's touching the ground before the ball, then all the energy is going into the ground. If it's touching it after the ball, that means you're hitting down on the ball, and that's not what you want, is it? Everyone says you've got to hit your driver on the up. So have that feeling of keeping this club head hovering, not touching the ground, not putting all your energy into beating down when we actually want it to come up like this. So you don't want that feeling of there, because that's too much the wrong way, or there, because that's too much the other way. The feeling in the practice swings is this. We have a huge surface area on the driver, on the bottom of the driver. We have a huge ski. Think of it skiing stroke barely brushing the surface of the water, or in this case the grass, rather than having it smack down on it. And finally, with the driver, you want to be hitting up on the golf ball. You want to be launching it into the air. With all the other clubs, you want to be hitting down on it. Why do you want to hit up on it? Because there is only, in my case, 9 degrees loft on my driver, so I have to encourage the launch. This is why we've got a high tee peg. This is the highest you'll ever tee your golf ball. So it's that feeling of it going up this way, like a rocket, like an aeroplane taking off. So all the things we spoke about before, and then that hit up on it feeling. Many people say to me, well, I'm scared of skying it, Soph. I'm scared of skying it. If you're hitting up on it, the chances are you're going to top it more than you're going to sky it. So if you look down at your golf club and you've got sky marks at the top, you're coming down on the golf ball. We need to change that characteristic to be more on the up. So if anything, you'd catch it at the bottom of your club. That means your spin will be lowered. So we want a high launch with a better spin rate, as in a more neutral spin rate. So that feeling through the ball is we've got our angles of our body, and then we're going to encourage it by feeling like this back leg, this knee, is lower than the front knee, like this. Imagine when you're throwing a ball, you want to throw a ball really far, here, like that. You'll never throw it down like this, else it'll just hit here. So look at the difference in what my body does, and at the release, the arm is still travelling upwards. You want to hit diagonally through this golf ball rather than flat or down on it. So let's run through those tips for hitting a more consistent driver. Tee height. I like to see at least half of the ball above my club face. So I'm going with a higher tee. Next up, it's my angles of the way I set up to the shot. The ball is inside my front heel, my back shoulder is lowered. Next up, it's the shot shape that I'm going to hit, or are hitting. So I move the ball to the right hand side of the tee box to aim at the left edge of the fairway, because that leaves me 100% of the fairway to the right hand side for me to hit. Another thought in my swing, in all of my swing, is don't let this club touch the ground. I even hover to start with. So I try and keep this always in the air, and then through the shot, try not let it hit the ground. It can skim the ground, but I don't want it to hit the ground. And then the final feeling is launch, hit up on the ball. I still like the term launch the ball. So it's like hitting diagonally through it. It's not about just hitting up, it's about launching it high and far. Thank you for watching our Academy videos. Please make sure you like, comment and subscribe to our channel.